Hey, my name is Angela. I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I have a little bit of a southern accent, so please, uh, don't laugh at me. I laugh at myself, but um, I've been telling Kat that I would do this for a while, and some things kind of got in the way. Um, but I'm trying it now. Um, I'm very outspoken about my mental illness. I have Rapid Cycling Bipolar 1 with anxiety and PTSD. And have two special needs little boys. They'll be 9 and 12 in July and August. And when the first campaign started, Jared opened up a lot of conversations and a lot of people helping other people, which I think is wonderful. Not everybody is outspoken as I am about having a mental illness or any kind of illness, really. The invisible struggles that a lot of people have can be the mental illness. It can be a physical illness that nobody understands, nobody knows it's there. For an example, my oldest son has Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a connective tissue disorder. His joints pop in and out. That's the short version of it. But I'm very outspoken, and I like to help other people, and I'm very pleased that people have taken what Jared started and ran with it. There's people out there struggling that don't have many places they can turn to. I am part of a really big family. I don't necessarily like being around my family, which is really sad because I do love them. But I don't like being around a whole lot of people. That's part of the anxiety. And it's nothing against them, it's just the way my brain works. My brain is wrong. I have insomnia, and right now I'm going into a mania. I can feel it because I've got really pressured speech, and it's really, really pressured. I'm trying my best not to talk 150 miles a minute. If it had not been for my mom and my dad and my husband, I probably would not be here right now. Going through what we did with the boys, with their premature births, and the doctors and the hospitals that came after that, it takes a toll on a person. It really does, whether they have a mental illness or not. But being outspoken about it the way I am, and some people might say I'm too outspoken, but I don't think so. They just have to live with that part of me. I have to live with that part of me. They have to live with that part of me. If somebody has a problem with it, that's their problem, not mine. I can't take my brain out of my skull and switch it for another, no matter how much I wish I could. I don't have a whole lot of time to tell my whole story, but on a post Jared did a couple days ago with the tattoos, he asked us to leave our story in his comment section, and I did that. It's an abbreviated version of my story because my story is pretty long. Um, I'm a sexual assault survivor. Um, I've given birth to 2 premature children that have special needs. I've lost my mom. Um, I lost my mom in 2008. And that's something I will probably never be over. And if I repeat anything, I apologize. Sometimes my brain doesn't connect that I've already said something, and that's part of it. The other thing is, you may see like a normal person right now speaking to basically herself, but to all of y'all out there, I am wearing a mask. I've never really let anybody ever see me without that mask. And it may be a weird example, but I read an article today about Jensen saying that Dean was wearing a mask, trying to convince Sam and Cass and Charlie and everybody that he's okay when he's really not, when he's really struggling. And that's what the mask is like for most people that have any kind of struggles where they have to wear a mask. It's obviously, you can tell, not a physical mask. I don't dress up, don't paint my face or anything like that. It's not the kind of mask I mean. This is nothing that anybody can tell that's really there. And with that comes, you don't really know what I'm like. I could be up, I could be down, I could be completely stable. You would never really know. But that's part of it, I guess. I have insomnia. And for an example of that, in 2005, because of family things and everything, I was not watching TV. I had too much stuff going on. So I came into the SPN family very late. And I watched all 7 seasons that they had on Netflix within a week, give or take a day or two. I would sleep an hour or 2, maybe 3 here and there. It would just depend. And that's difficult to do, especially when you have 2 little ones that are like, hey, let's go this way, and you're just dragging ass, basically, trying to figure out which way you're going today. When Jared opened this campaign, I think he blew a lid off of what it's really like to struggle. And I want to thank him for that. Because I am so outspoken about it, I've never had any trouble saying that I have that. Or that I have this, or that I deal with that. But a lot of people do. A lot of people believe the stigmas. They believe the myths. I'm not dangerous. I'm not crazy. Just because I have this doesn't mean that I am going to, harm somebody because I get mad. I get mad just like everybody else does, You get mad, you get mad. That doesn't mean that I'm gonna go shoot up a mall somewhere. The stigmas are stupid. they're irritating. They're worthless. It needs to be spoken about, and the sport needs to be there for people that have these struggles. And I'm not talking just mental illnesses. I'm talking all of them. You know, I mean, I am lucky that I live in an area where mental health is pretty easy to get a hold of. Other people in my state are not so lucky. You know, they may have to travel 130, 140, 150 miles to get to a psychiatrist. Or they may have to travel 120 or 130 or 140 miles to get to a specialist for their, you know, their physical disease that they're going through. And, you know, I'm lucky I live in a metro area where I can get the help I need and the help that I wanted. You know, I voluntarily checked myself into a hospital, into the psychiatric hospital, saying there was something wrong. I needed help. Not everybody has that. And I think Jared and now Jensen, teaming up with him, have really blown the lid off of, we gotta keep this quiet. Let's not talk about this. We need to talk about this. We need to have these conversations, as stressful and as, you know, awkward as they may be. I feel like an idiot right now. But I'm doing it because maybe it'll help somebody else. And I know I'm gonna have to ask Kat to break my video into at least 2 parts because it's so long, but I don't know where to stop talking about this issue. Because it is that important to me. You know, my son has an anxiety disorder, and that kills me, because that means that I have almost doomed my son with my stupid genetics and my stupid brain. Even though I may know that is not true, it feels that way. You know, my kids have gone through enough. And for him to have to deal with this, he got a Jared shirt. And I really wish I would have been able to video his reaction to seeing it laying on his bed the day it came. Because it was just priceless. You know, he clapped his hands together and started giggling, you know, and it came, you know, because he understands what the message means. And he goes to school if he wears it, and he tells them, this is what it means. You know, I'm not talking physically fighting, you know, he's talking about something else. And for an 11-and-a-half-year-old to get that, and to understand that, I think 25-year-old and 35-year-old and 45-year-old and 55-year-old people should be able to get that. And we should be able to talk about this openly. And honestly, it's very, very important to me. And I, like, hats off to Jared and Jensen and everybody bringing attention to this, you know. I mean, y'all really don't understand how refreshing it is to see somebody using their fame, or their status, whatever you want to call it. Jared is Jared, Jensen's Jensen. I don't know. They're human. They're guys. I mean, but to see them do this is so needed that it's just, you can't even imagine, how exhilarated I was when he announced it. I mean, I was flooding my Facebook page with it every day. My people probably got sick of me, but you know what? I didn't give a crap. The message had to get out. So, to Jared and Jensen, thank you. We needed to talk about this, and y'all, Jared, you busted the lid off, and you and Jensen have pretty much blown the barrel up. But we still got to keep talking about it. We have so many more miles to go before we can rest. And this is, it's really needed. It really is. And I'm sorry if you feel like this is too long and you don't understand any of it or much of it, but having the mental illness that I have and being so misunderstood with it, it's an important thing to me. It's a very, very important project to me. I just can't thank y'all enough. I can't thank Kat enough for putting this idea out here to do the videos. The support groups that have spun off of the first campaign for the people that need help, it's very touching to me that somebody finally gets it and says, hey, we need to talk about this, and we need to talk about it now, and we need to talk about it right, and real, because, mental illness is not, it's not pretty. It's not wrapped up in a pretty package with a pretty bow stuck on top, stick it under the Christmas tree and here you go. No. It's not like that. We go through scary times. And it's just, the weather affects me. I would love to live in Washington State or some part of Canada or something. The weather would kill me. I mean, not literally, but it would be very, very difficult for me to live in a climate like that. Oklahoma is bad enough, and anybody that is from the South or, around this area knows what I'm talking about when I say Oklahoma's weather is really not I don't know the word, but it's, weather affects me. Things with my kids affect me. Here lately, Supernatural, I've been bawling my eyes out every freaking week. And people are like, it's just a TV show, but no, it's a TV show. Yes, it is. But it still hurts when you see the other people hurt. and, you know, that affects us. So, this thing is over 20 minutes long already, so I'm definitely gonna have to break it in two, or have Kat break it in two. But again, to Jared, thank you. And to Jensen, thank you for, joining in with Jared and getting the word out, because it is so needed. It's so needed. We've been hiding behind the, oh gosh, they have mental illness for so long that, no, it's time to bust out and say, hey, I have this. If you don't like it, too damn bad. You know, I live with it, you live with it. You know, we're not gonna hurt you. We're helping ourselves, we're fixing ourselves, you know, as best we can, you know, so. But anyway, that is my, I guess, manic pressured speech state, you know, talking, but, you know, I'll see you on Twitter, I'll see you on Facebook, and see you on the flip side.